Welcome back to Wookies on X-Wing. My name is Matt.
I'm Jon.
And today we've got another of our Wave 9 review games. This one for the Protectorate Starfighter, the second Scum ship to be released with this wave. So jumping right into it, I'm actually flying two of them. I've got Old Tarok with Opportunist, Auto Thrusters, and the Concord Dawn Protector title. We've got Fenn Rau with the Fearlessness EPT, Auto Thrusters, and the Concord Dawn title. And then I decided, you know what, I want to bring in a Kira's fighter. I like them. Got Talonbane Cobra with Fearlessness, an engine upgrade, and Glitterstim's elicits. So some of the new upgrades. The Fearlessness EPT is when attacking, if you are inside the defender's firing arc at range 1, and they are inside your firing arc, you may add a hit to your roll. The Concord Dawn Protector is basically Fearlessness for defense dice. When you're defending, if you're at range 1, you're in each other's firing arcs, you can add an evade result to your roll. And it's actually, you know, the only two upgrades really that come in this this ship. And then Old Tarok is a pilot. At the start of the combat phase, you may choose one enemy ship at range 1. If you are inside its firing arc, it discards all focus and evade tokens. And then Fenn Rau, when attacking or defending, if the enemy ship is at range 1, you may roll one additional die. And that's big. I actually kind of forget the defensive part in this a little bit, but it is a beautiful ship. First impressions of these ships going in, they really want to get in your opponent's face. That's my game plan going in, and we'll see how it pans out.
So the squadron that I'm flying is actually a variation on the YouTuber comment by Kyle Lee, so thank you very much for that. It is Shara Bey with Plasma Torpedoes, Guidance Chips, Weapons Engineer, and the Alliance Overhaul. A Dutch Vander, personal favorite, love the Y-Wing, also goes with the Clone Wars theme, has Plasma Torpedoes and extra munitions. He has R5K6, the droid. Now, I played this a little strangely last video, but we've worked out all the kinks, and I'm going to be playing this properly today. And he also has Guidance Chips, and Tuketu on the K-Wing, and he has Plasma Torpedoes, extra munitions, Guidance Chips as well, and a Recon Specialist. So there's a lot of internal synergy, and one of the things that I realized as I was deploying is that while these ships want to fly somewhat in formation, they can't actually fit in a reasonable formation because their wings are so big, which is kind of hilarious in its own right. Now, our asteroid deployment is incredibly spread out. I want to really play off my ability to fire my munitions. Order of operations is going to be very important for me, and I want to be able to get those actions in. Matt, looks like you have your force completely spread out because you have the maneuverability to get where you need to go when you need to get there.
Yeah, well, and that was one of the... When the Kiras first came out, one of my gripes with it was it felt a little sluggish. So I was like, all right, you know what? Let's put an engine upgrade on him. We've got Fearlessness there and Talonbane's innate pilot abilities to try to brute force my way through dice modification. And I was actually really impressed with it. And then the Concord Dawns, they feel like flying interceptors or A-Wings. They're just so maneuverable and so fast. And I don't feel bad about putting Fenn Rau way out there because they're going to easily clear a lot of that board space.
So right now I'm just going really moseying on, maybe a little bit too fast for how these fighters want to play, but just going forward. They're all on the pilot skill 6, so they're going to go forward and then they're going to focus up. Yeah,
it's a nice thing looking at your fleet there. It's like, oh, everything is pilot skill 6, so you can choose what ship you want to go in which order. So you're less likely to bung yourself up there.
Now, Kyle, when he messaged us on the video, he suggested that Tuketu had a lot more munitions, but I wanted to spread around those munitions a little bit and put some on Bay as well, so that I can fully make use of those target locks going out and have everybody firing torps, one version of torps or another. I want to see how that plays out. This is really my first time flying this squadron at all, so it's going to be another just crack it open and go, but I've had some expert experience flying Y-Wings, of all things, so that is one of the things that I'm going to sort of rely on, that skill set, to apply it to my other fighters, and I still want to stay in formation because of all of those good benefits. My hope and dream is that I can line you up and blow you out of the sky with my powerful munitions, and hopefully I have enough internal synergy to make those torpedoes hit.
Yeah, and I don't mind, like, I don't want to get my Concords shot by torpedoes, but they at least can kind of handle it. Talonbane really doesn't want to get shot by torpedoes because they will ignore his defensive aspect of his pilot ability. But ideally, I want to be right up in your face at range 1.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Talonbane and Fenn were doing, going as fast as they can, boosting up, get oriented for a nice hard burn forward next turn.
So moseying up, again, I'm not really sure exactly what to expect, how fast these fighters are going to be moving, but I feel confident in the durability of my fighter, that I can push in, get into the scrum, and get some target locks going. Now, fortunately, I moved up with Bey, and, well, I want to get those target locks. Bey's ability of getting those target locks is essential, but I'm kind of missing out on the ability later on, right here with Dutch, to move up and then pass a target lock off onto Bey.
Yeah, and it is, practice, order of operations, who wants to go when.
So as I'm flying this forward, I'm realizing, this is something I need to make sure I don't make a mistake for in the future.
Yeah. I'm always happy to see Dutch on the table, though.
He is one of my favorite Y-wing pilots. I like Horton, now that he kind of was delegated to not being Horton after Wexley, the new ARC 170 pilot, and Snap's mom.
Yeah.
In the new lore, the new canon, did what Horton was known for in the old canon in Legends. So
yeah. And so here's Dutch. They're they really got to hate on for old Tarok here.
Yeah.
To be fair, he is the only ship nearby, but still, it's like he's a Mando though. Given Mandalorian, he's probably sitting there going in the cockpit and like, I got this. Yeah.
And for the K-wing, again pushing forward. Not exactly sure how your squadron is going to work together. I've had a look at the squadron itself, but not seeing the internal synergy, and I'm getting the focus in there. So here you got old Tarok just zooming up forward.
Yeah, so he's blasting forward, and somewhat at least in first glance, somewhat strange maneuver. So he's going to barrel roll, but very deliberately doing this, I am trying to leverage Tarok's pilot ability to see if I can get him into range 1 of Tuketu, to see if I can make Tuketu discard those 2 focus tokens he has. And combat phase will tell if I manage to land it. Otherwise, he's kind of relying on his ship's title to to soak any hits here.
Now we have Marcus Aurelius himself, Fenn Rau, and why I say that is the voice actor from Star Wars Rebels for Fenn Rau is the same actor who played Marcus Aurelius in the Rome series. Yeah. So if you haven't got caught up on Star Wars Rebels, please do so, because it's awesome. Of course, that's not Fenn Rau, that's Talonbane Cobra. I'm getting ahead of myself here.
Fenn will be moving very shortly, though.
Yeah, Talonbane Cobra moving forward. I'm really excited to see how that Fearlessness EPT is going to work with him, because he's an amazing jouster as it is, and this just makes him better.
Oh, absolutely.
And now we have Fenn Rau.
There's Fenn.
The man himself.
And Fenn is also going to try to leverage that beautiful barrel roll action that these fighters have, and see if I can get him parked right into range 1 of as many ships of you as I can to really make use of my pilot ability. Or, well, make use of the title, because I actually forgot the pilot ability benefits on defense as well. But it's such a potent ability that Fenn has.
Yeah, it's easy to...
And for being pilot skill 9.
Yeah.
No contest there.
It's definitely easy to get those things mixed up, especially when this is going to be the first time you've ever flown this. Not making excuses for you. Yeah. However,
there are a lot of new rules to remember.
But that's one of the reasons why we like doing these Wave 9, well, Wave opening releases videos, and that's because we get to show you what these squadrons are capable of, and we get to point and mix up some of the mistakes that are common, and that way you can either learn from our mistakes, or you can point out our mistakes and make fun of us, and we're happy to be the butt of the joke on that.
Yeah, and there we had Tarok did manage to get in range 1 of Tuketu, so he removes Tuketu's focus. This is Talonbane taking some shots into Shara. I've got my 2 Protectorates in range 1 of her. I am going to be focusing her down as quickly as possible.
And I'm thinking, yeah, it's 3 shields,
Okay,
6
yeah,
hulls.
that's
Pretty.
That was a big hit so far.
Yeah, okay, I can. Whew.
And so now we have Fenn. And Fenn's 3 attack dice turning into 5 base. And then Fearlessness EPT just adding a hit for 3 potentials.
Do not roll an agility dice.
No, and there is Shara's. There's half her hull gone. That is 2 hits, and I believe there was a crit in there, but
And the crit is a direct hit. Oh, salt in the wound.
so this makes Tarok's job a little easier. I'm considering opportunisting here, but I don't think I need it.
With 2 hull left, and you get an auto trigger from Fearlessness. Oh no, you don't have Fearlessness. You have Opportunist.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Really didn't really think I needed
And you
opportunist
don't.
there.
No, you didn't.
He's gone.
Yeah, you're milling my deck for me. You're milling my damage deck, and Shara's gone. That's it. Like I lost a third of my fighters. That was a bucket of cold water in the face. Oh, it's brutal. I'm thinking to myself, maybe I shouldn't have pushed so far forward. Yeah, no, that hurt.
Yeah.
So I want to fire some of my torps while I still have them.
Yeah, and unfortunately, barrel rolling to tag Tuketu with Tarok's pilot ability gets him over and forward far enough that I'm actually now in range 2 along Dutch's fire arc. So I can get torpedoed, and that kind of makes me sad.
Your tears are delicious to me, Matt, because I need something to fill the void that you left when destroying Bey. You killed my Bey.
Fortunately for me, unfortunately for you.
Yeah.
But so I've got my 3 defense dice. Let's see what he can do, and it looks like you do keep the target lock. And because of that, now telling Tuketu that he can acquire a target lock.
So it doesn't look like I did.
Nope, so no damage to Tarok there with that, thankfully enough. He did manage to evade them. But Tuketu is now firing on Fenn. He's acquired a target lock on him.
And with guidance chips, I get an extra trigger.
Yep, and Fenn takes some damage, a hit and a crit.
And the crit is a damaged console.
Oh, the crit's actually, it's a blinded... I believe the crit was a blinded pilot here.
Oh yes, you forego your next opportunity to shoot.
Yeah.
However, because you're using the new damage deck, if you do shoot, or if you had the if you can't shoot,
it's just I basically skip my next functionally I skip my next combat phase. All right, I can handle that.
So doing some fancy flying with the Y-wing, getting a K turn in.
Not the maneuver I expected with the Y-wing. But and also not exactly what I expected with the K-wing either. And here is where I'm going to be learning a lesson about my fleet is, as much as the Protector's dial tells you that it can turn fight, this is really where I should have disengaged, and I make the mistake of not doing that.
All right, so let's see how you do not disengage.
No, trying to chase you down.
So it looks like you're actually going to be able to Talon roll right there
Yep.
in a very nice spot. Outside of my firing arc, thank goodness, because I don't want to be in your firing arc, and I don't want you to be in my firing arc anymore. I'll just rely on my turrets when it comes to the K-Wing. I don't want to give you free hits.
No, I have the auto thrusters, which is nice. Don't get the Protector title, unfortunately, but Tarok is at range 1. He is in a beautiful spot. Unfortunately, I can't use his pilot ability to remove those focus tokens.
Yeah.
And that's really nice ability of the Protector here. You know, we first saw the Talon roll in the T-70. It was a 3 Talon roll. These guys, they've got a 2. And man, can that put you in some tight spots.
It's glorious.
It is very nice. And so there's Fenn. Fenn's got 2 damage on him already. He's bumping into Tuketu. In range 2 of Dutch. That is not where he wants to be at all. And unfortunately, because of Fenn bumping, Talonbane comes in and also bumps into Fenn.
Now, Talonbane is less interested in being in the front arc. However, with the Fearlessness, he still wants to be there, but he has a tremendous amount of firepower because of his native pilot ability.
Absolutely.
Popping Glitterstims there, so...
Oh, I'm in range 1. When I have a 5 attack dice shot, I'm gonna use Glitterstims to try to get as much damage through onto Tuketu as I can here.
I do not blame you.
And let's see what he can do. So that is 2 focus turning to hits for 4 potential damage. Not a bad go of it.
I'm able to dodge one of your attacks.
So
take
3 of the shields off. I'll take it.
Yeah.
That is a good attack run from Talonbane. Now let's see if Tarok can follow it up.
The firepower that your squadron is able to do is absolutely tremendous.
Except when I roll a blank and 3 focus results.
You know, I'm okay with that. I am totally okay with you rolling like that.
Yeah. That was a little spicy. A little bit unfortunate there. And Fenn, because of Fenn bumping, he can't shoot. So now we've got Tuketu and Dutch.
So I'm going to be firing even more torpedoes.
Firing torpedoes at old Tarok this time.
And I roll like garbage as well.
Yep, but a hit. There are 2 potentials.
I was hoping to get some focus in there to make use of Tuketu's ability, and I'm unable to get a target lock, so Tuketu is going to have to rely on his focus.
Yeah, and Tarok thankfully dodges those torpedoes. But Tuketu will have a range 1 turret here. Does have the focus to spend for 3 potentials. Get an auto thruster trigger. And I do take a hit and a crit. And wonder of wonders, it's also a blinded pilot. So, in 3 ship fleets, you really don't want to be losing turns of shooting.
Yeah. Tell me about it. I'm losing a turn of shooting with Bey for the rest of the game.
Yeah. And we've got Dutch. Very closely manages to set down in front of Tuketu there. Nice green maneuver. Gets rid of his stress. And he does, because he doesn't bump, he can action, he can target lock, and he can tell Tuketu to grab one as well.
So close there.
That was, I thought I was like, oh, he's bumped, yes. No, he's not. No! Not what I want. Got 2 of my ships they're heavily damaged. They're down to half.
All I need to do is get some killing blows in here, and then I can maybe get some torps fired from Tuketu.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get a K-Wing turned around, though.
Absolutely. It doesn't have a K-turn. You have the slam.
You do have the slam.
So he can pull a pretty hard Yui if he has to, but otherwise you are just relying on your turret to kind of power you through here. Alright, so we've got Tuketu had to get Dutch out of the way. He is doing a 2 turn.
So completely swapping spots with Dutch.
Yeah. Nice, easy maneuvers here.
And right now, what's going through my head is, as much as I'd like to get turned around and get these torpedoes firing, it's really good to have Tuketu as that resource battery that has spent points on, and Dutch is still getting some work done. So,
Oh, absolutely.
You know, the actions being able to throw focus onto Dutch, using the focus to keep Tuketu alive for whatever reason, or just use it himself, is a good enough reason to stay in that part of the fight. Plus, he's really annoying there.
Yes, he is.
So I'm trying to apply what I know from playing Imperials, which is being a big jerky face and blocking,
Yeah.
and trying to apply that into a rebel dogma.
Yeah, and we've got Fenn. I actually don't, or Tarok. I actually don't mind that Tarok's bumped here. He couldn't shoot anyway. Keeps him from getting shot at.
Yeah.
So, and Dutch can't shoot at him, so, alright, I lose out of my action. Grand scheme of things, it's not that big a deal with him. And here, unfortunately, I do, again, go against my better judgment and I'm trying to force these fighters into a turn fight when they really don't want to be.
Yeah. You are not TIE fighters?
No. They may fly like TIEs. Or at least their dial says they can fly like TIE fighters. But their abilities and their upgrades say, yeah, we actually don't really want to fly like TIE fighters.
Yeah, if you try to basically put a square peg in a triangle hole, it's not going to work really well.
No.
With enough brute force, you might be able to get it to work.
Yeah, and so we've got to have to get out the arc extender, as it were, so I can. Oh, he's in the wrong spot. So I can get Fenn properly aligned on his bump. And unfortunately, he's not going to be able to. Just how he has to line up, he's not going to be able to get pulled around enough to get Tuketu in his arc, which I was a little excited about at first. Like, oh, I can probably shoot Tuketu, and it's like, nope, not pointing in the right direction.
And you're not firing at Dutch either. So
Nope.
That's two fighters that are not really getting any shots.
So far, yep. And Talonbane, well, again, he's in
a really rough spot, especially since he was stressed from Glitterstims. So he didn't have a lot of placement to go on, and that's one of the reasons why I flew the way that I did, just to be, again, a big jerk face.
Yeah. And so I had thought I was doing a 1 forward with him, and I was like, oh no, I did a 2. Why did I do a 2 forward? And so he will end up clearing Fenn. And I was a little worried that he'd end up just parked on his butt right in front of Dutch. But
yeah, you can clear Fenn, but you can't clear Dutch.
Not quite.
So all the way to the back of the bus you go.
Yeah, and bit of a mistake there. Realized, oh crap, I took my maneuver template out. That shouldn't have done that. So get Talonbane settled in there. Try to get him lined up along the appropriate path. So I have 1 ship shooting this turn. Let's try to make it worth it. And there I'm just checking to see if Fenn has arc on Tuketu, and unfortunately he does not.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Do not want to get any more damage thrown at me. If I can avoid it, I will.
Yeah, and so here we go. So Talonbane just taking his 5 shots, range 1. Let's see what kind of damage he can do here. Two potentials.
I nimbly dodge one.
So not really what I want to see.
I can roll better defense dice on 1 defense dice than I can on 3. How does that work?
Reasons. Because reasons.
Yeah.
And so here's Tuketu. He is firing at Fenn. So we've got a couple potentials here, and auto thrusters. Take a crit, and so here's where I actually forget that, I should have had an extra defense dice.
You should have had an extra defense dice, and that Mistake did cost you because that was a direct hit, I believe.
It is a direct hit, and just for, giggles at the end of the game rolled it. It's like, oh, that was a defense. Dang. So, note to you guys. Remember, Fenn works both.
Learn from Matt's mistakes.
Yeah, Fenn works in both attack and defense.
Yeah.
I mean, you are paying 35 points for a reason.
Yeah. So,
Very good reason, but...
Dutch deciding to get out of dodge.
Yeah. Or sorry, 32. You're spending 28 points base on Fenn.
Yeah,
I spent 34 on her, or on him. I spent 32 on him, but it's like, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of points gone.
It is a lot, but I mean, we've seen just the sheer power that he can muster when it comes to amplifying a scum and villainy squadron. Mm-hmm. He is probably one of the best jousters in the game right now.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is, in your squadron, Matt, this is one of many ways that you can incorporate Fenn Rau into your squadron. Mm-hmm. I've seen a couple of people use Manaru with Fenn.
Just feed him.
And just just feed him all of the tokens he ever wants, and then he's just a tremendously scary monster.
Absolutely, yeah.
And he is able to deliver and has the maneuverability that Dengar might suffer in.
Mm-hmm. And he won't always be stressed.
And he's a Mando. Mandos are cool.
Yeah. Oh, for
if
sure.
If the internet has taught me anything, Mandalorians
are awesome. Yeah.
And they're totally not overrated.
All right, so... Again, Tuketu continuing his turn. Dutch moseying up towards the board edge. Tarok, easy bank. Trying to figure out exactly where you were going. Barrel, and then it's like, oh, I'm in a spot I don't want to be. I'm gonna barrel roll out of range one of you.
Yeah.
Gonna have my auto thrusters, so all right, I'm okay with this.
Don't give me free shots.
No. Free range one is bad. And then Talonbane here. He's actually going to... I figured Dutch would be pulling up towards your board edge. Mm-hmm. It's like, all right, I'm going to lay the gas on, do a 5k turn.
So close!
Almost fly off the board.
If you had flown off the board, I think I would have shaken your hand.
That would have been embarrassing.
I would have shaken your hand, Matt, because you would be forfeiting.
Yes, that would be an embarrassment. And so he does manage to catch Dutch in his arc and just rolls 3 blanks. Apparently, he is far too distracted by the nearby battle that is off screen right now.
Yeah.
And so Tuketu, taking his 2 attacks.
And you roll nothing but focus results.
Well, I roll an evade and 2 focus.
Yeah.
When I need blanks with auto thrusters.
See, Matt, you can't even roll blanks.
Oh, the frustration. Oh my god, the frustration.
All right. So here I do a swanky K-turn. I'm loving this Y-wing maneuvers.
It's strange to see Y-wings doing K-turns. We're so used to them, having turrets on them.
Yeah, and never turning around.
No, but Dutch basically leaving target locks on his on the guys he wants to be shooting at. He's quite all right doing a K-turn. So Tarok here, he is going to. He's been stung. He wants to stay at range 2 of you. He's going to hang up behind you and just focus up. Playing defensive. He wants to stay alive as long as he can to, quite honestly, try to get as much damage onto Tuketu before he inevitably dies.
Yeah. The other real strength with your squadron is that, for the most part, you have the pilot skill advantage, so you can arc dodge fairly easily because you have those defensive actions.
Yeah.
Maneuverability as well. Even on Talonbane Cobra, 80s metal band.
Yeah.
He has the engine upgrade, meaning that he's a lot more versatile than he would normally be.
Absolutely, and it is an expensive upgrade, but it is one I don't mind paying for at all, especially in this kind of fleet. He kind of wants it to keep up with the protectors, but it's just the Kiraz it does, as mentioned, it feels a little sluggish.
Yeah.
And so that was Talonbane. He was taking a shot at Tuketu to try to soften him up for Tarok. Tarok rolling actually exactly the same attack roll, 1 hit and 2 blanks. Tuketu using a focus, so alright. No damage that turn. Unfortunate, but I'll work with it.
And get some little turret action.
Yep, Tuketu, or Talonbane. Oh, I'm a little worried about Talonbane, actually, but Tarok, he's sitting at range 2. He's where he wants to be. Talonbane is in range of, in range of torpedoes, but looks like we may have forgot them or not used them this turn.
I don't have any torpedoes left.
Oh, he's actually used them all. Yes, that's right.
I have used all of my torpedoes on Dutch, so I can't fire torpedoes at you.
Oh, that is a relief.
Everyone else has not been able to fire torpedoes. Dutch, he's golden.
He has expended both his tubes.
Yeah. So here I am doing a 1 forward to shed my stress.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of doing a 1 bank. However, it's a white maneuver.
It is, yeah.
So it's a little tricky.
Yeah. And one reason I do like running just a generic R2 Astromech.
Oh, I love the R2 Astromech on the Y-Wing. But
with Dutch, the R5 is...
I wanted that gimmick.
Absolutely.
Wanted that gimmicky synergy. Tastes so good.
And I mean, it's worked out. It let Tuketu put a torpedo salvo into Fenn when otherwise he wouldn't have been able to.
Absolutely. So we have the K-Wing going forward, and I focused up here. I actually cut some of the time off of the video because I was thinking about doing a slam.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking I'm in a really weird spot. Do I want to do a slam? Now Talonbane's probably going to just overshoot me, or he's going to come after me on the Y-Wing, and it looks like I should have should have listened to my instincts, stuck with my gut, and yeah, slam, because right now you're in my arc, I'm in your arc. That benefits you, not me.
No. It's a very angry Talonbane.
A very angry Talonbane indeed. That's putting you how many attack dice, Matt?
Well, it's 5, and then I will get a free hit.
5 attack dice plus a free hit, so effectively 6, or 5 plus 1.
Yeah, there is a lot of potential damage coming out here, and I'm debating: do I want to spend my focus offensively here? I do. I want to try to pile as much damage through as I can.
So I think you even forgot one of your attack dice there.
Oh, it was a blank. It
okay.
It rolled into a blank on the back, but still 4. One of them being a crit. And I believe that is also a direct hit.
It is. It is indeed a direct hit.
Not what Tuketu wants to see.
Yeah, and Tuketu getting blasted by even more, and that was just enough to be able to kill him.
That's the direct hit, confirming the kill, allowing old Tarok to sneak the 1 point of damage through.
So before I had 2 fighters, and Tuketu was fairly solid, and you just completely destroyed him in a swift salvo. So I should have slammed.
Yeah.
But so now I have a Y-Wing, and you have not a Y-Wing.
No.
You have a couple of fighters. Some are wounded.
Yeah, Tarok is down to 1. Talonbane is healthy, but not in... Talonbane's going to take some turning around, which, at least with the engine upgrade, he doesn't mind.
So I'm really sinking in all of the lessons that I have learned, the opening couple of turns, and the immediate lesson that I just learned. So here I go, making a turn.
Yeah, so we've got...
Getting on your tail as a Y-Wing, and hopefully I'm able to put on the pressure.
Yeah, Dutch is... He does want to be... Well, he does want to be kind of aggressive here. I've got Tarok. He is moving up. Debating barrel rolling. I'm not sure if I can barrel roll over and forward far enough to get me into range 1 of you.
Mm-hmm.
That is where he wants to sit. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to opportunist you because you do have a focus. So I like to... He's playing it safe, playing it defensively. Going to focus up here.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you had tried to barrel roll and you just got out and you weren't being... That would have been glorious.
Yeah.
So
and we've got...
And it looks like you're not going to be able to clear that.
No, Talonbane, he is trying to... I was trying to get him swung around the asteroid, The other the other awkward part of the Keras' dial is it doesn't have a 3 turn.
Yeah.
It only has a 3 bank.
Yeah, something that we have lamented quite a bit, actually, as
Yeah.
we've been trying to make the Kirash work. If you've noticed that Matt plays the Kirash a lot, it's because he has a bunch of them, and he's just trying to figure out new and exciting ways to make them work. And so far, this is probably the most promising way.
I do like I do like how it fits into it. He does offer a little bit more durability, and it's not it flies a little differently to a protector, so it might throw your opponent off, and it does give me just that massive nuke, another high pilot skill nuke.
So 2 attack dice, 2 hits going into Dutch. I was able to defend one of them.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not actually firing at Talonbane. I don't care if you have. I want to kill old Greg, and I just killed him.
And I'm focused. I roll 1 defense and 2 blanks. When I can't use my auto thrusters, then I'm focused. Seems to be a theme with Tarok here.
Yeah. I was able to down him, so all I have to do now, is kill Talonbane Cobra, probably in a joust fight.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And that's exactly what I'm going to do here. Just, again, putting that 5k turn to use. I know I'm not going to be able to get my 1 range band this turn, so I'm going to try to force the issue of the range 3 shot.
Because you get to double your bonuses,
Yeah,
you
so
have a ridiculous amount of defense dice now.
turning 2 into 4, so suddenly it's exactly like shooting a TIE fighter at range 3.
Yeah.
And I'm whittling down your defense dice here. Spend your target lock, and Talonbane putting those 4 to use. Unfortunately, I roll three focus results,
Yeah.
so he does take a hit.
So doing a K turn, hopefully either you slow play a little bit and bump me and not be able to hit, and I can recover a little bit, which you do here, or you overpass me and I get to fire into your back, and that would be awesome.
Oh, overshooting, exactly. Overshooting would be exactly where you would want Talonbane to go.
Okay, so here I am moving forward again. Would love to do a bank here, but I really want to get my actions going, and I can't when I'm stressed. So 1 forward, green maneuver.
Yeah, focus up. And again, I'm not 100% sure where Dutch is going, but I decide, you know what? I have the Fearlessness EPT. Let's do its namesake.
Yeah, should have pushed the gas a little more. I mean, 1 forward is not the only green maneuver I have, but I didn't want to take the risk that you were going to slow play as well. And I'm paying for it now.
But just
Look,
Yep.
even on a really bad roll, look the sheer potential
absolutely.
of damage that you can put in.
And so you do mitigate one of them, but that is a hit and a crit. And that is, I believe, a structural damage.
It is. There you go.
So I'm at range 1. Not a great place to be, but at least you focus. So I felt a little better about it. And Talonbane says, "All right, I got this." So we now have a 0 agility Y-wing.
0 agility Y-wing. I have a couple of hull points left. I have 3 hull points left, and you have 4 hull points left.
Yeah.
On Talonbane Cobra. So, I have to get a really, really solid shot in and get some cool crits going for me. And I got this.
Yeah. I am stressed though, so not really gonna be doing anything fancy this turn. And definitely a big planning phase for you though. What is Dutch gonna do?
Well, I'm trying to figure out if I can fit in that space that I have there and do a green maneuver, get myself target locked for future turns, because if there would be no possible way that you would be able to hit me this turn if I do that. The other alternative is to get behind you, but then by the time you joust and turn around, that could prove to be incredibly bad for me as well. So I try to move forward, and I just don't fit. My eyeballs have been pretty good for most of this game, not that good right now. So I lose that coveted action that I so desperately wanted.
Yep. Unfortunately.
And now you are doing something I was not really expecting, which is...
I gotta shed my stress. I'm banking off and gonna actually put that engine upgrade to use here.
Very nice.
And as the 2 bank is a green.
So I definitely kind of wish I had a turret on the Y-Wing, but I'm happy that I got to fire some torps.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, so putting that engine upgrade to use. Can't do a 2-turn, it's a white maneuver. And Talonbane, he really doesn't want to be stressed right now. So replace him on my peg. And let's see where Dutch is gonna go. Lots of debate.
Oh, I'm thinking really hard.
He will have an action, which is good. A nice...
Unless I land on that rock. But yes, I go forward again, trying to put that rock in between me and you. I know Talonbane has a 1-turn, which is really powerful. He has forfeited that 3-turn to get it.
Yeah.
But he has the 1-turn, and there you go. You get it there. So I'm kind of happy because I have that rock in between me. Or so I think. Looks like you're grabbing that boost.
That's exactly. I'm heavily debating, do I want to boost and put myself in a slightly awkward spot of I'm going to be a little closer to that Y-wing than I want to be pointing in that particular direction, but you know what? You have 0 agility. I want to get my 5 attack dice.
And there you get your 5 attack dice.
I got my 5 attack dice, and I get 1 potential. Or, well, I get 1 out of 5. And I was like, ah! Talonbane, what are you doing to me? So we have a bit of a laugh at that.
And here we go. Get another K-turn going. I'm trying to maximize my vantage so I can get some shots on you.
Yep. And I was hoping that you would K-turn. I set this maneuver assuming you would bank, either bank towards me or K-turn.
Well, I was originally going to do a 1 bank or 1 turn, again, to see if you would overshoot me. But then I was worried you were going to do that 5 K-turn and then get in my arc.
Yeah.
Fortunately, that's not what you did.
Nope. Lazy bank forward. It's like, all right, fearless again. Boost forward. I'm going to, well, power through attacks
There
here.
is no way that I can survive against that.
No, just power through the attacks. And that's it. That was
It was a very brutal game.
absolutely it.
I was laughing that whole time that I was able to pull off some serious shenanigans with a Y-wing of all things. I mean, we go and talk about how Y-wings are, mediocre, and everybody's like, yeah, I pulled some crazy stuff with a Y-wing. You don't even know. I'm like, yeah, whatever. But when you get to fly it and you see how good that feels, it's like, yeah, I'm flying a Y-wing and I'm killing other dudes that I shouldn't be killing, but yeah,
and
it's great.
And it's weird. It's like, I'm leaving the Y-wing alone. Crap, this thing's killing me.
So not really got to show off the ARC 170 in this video. So we get to see how fast it dies when focused by 3 ships in a Protectorate Concord Dawn themed list, as it were, for Scum and Villainy. But if you could make some changes to your squadron, would you make any?
Honestly, just how I fly it and getting through my head that these things, they're not turn fighters. They really want to just zoom in, blast away, and they want to, weirdly enough, be sitting right in front of you.
Yeah.
They don't want to be getting into a turn fight.
And when you get right in front of them, you are super rewarded for it.
Absolutely. They are hugely offensive, hugely defensive, and I got to remember that Fenn works on both.
I'm a really big fan of that K-Wing and Y-Wing combo. I would like to actually play this squadron again, my squadron again, a couple of times to learn a little bit of the finesse. I screwed up in the order of operations in my early turns, and I learned immediately from that. Unfortunately, I couldn't put that knowledge to good use, but, a punch in the face is a better teacher than a pat on the back sometimes.
Exactly.
One of the things that I kind of missed with the Y-Wing, with Dutch, is to get maybe a turret on him, like an auto blaster turret. I felt that Shara, while Kyle Lee, the commenter and originator of this squadron, thank you again, he suggested to put more munitions on on Tuketu and less on Bey, and I wanted to put more munitions on Bey, and I actually see that logic of why to do that, because Bey is a really solid target because of how to deal with the internal synergy of my squadron. Killing her means that you can easily immediately cripple me, and
And she's more of a gunboat anyway.
she has the firepower natively that the other two fighters need to rely on munitions for, especially when you have the rear firing arc. So there's that element of it, and the other element that I would really suggest anybody looking at this kind of squadron and wanting to learn from some of my mistakes is that it doesn't need to be flown in this tight range one band that you'd see with rebels flying bigs, that kind of thing. You can fly a little bit more spread out, or you can spread out a little bit more when it comes to the opening salvo. Like Tuketu could have been a little bit further back because he doesn't need to get those target locks to fire the munitions. All he needs to do is focus up, and once those target locks are passed to him, he can fire away.
Absolutely.
So learned a lot from playing this. I want to play this again, get good, because I scrubbed it up there and only somehow pulled my breaches up near the end, and it turned into what looked like a one-sided fight to almost another one-sided fight to a really solid game. So thanks for playing me on that, Matt.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun for both of us. We were laughing the whole time. It was enjoyable.
I'm looking forward to playing Heroes of the Resistance with you.
Oh yeah, that's coming next. We've got Heroes of Resistance versus the TIE SF. Really, I'm actually looking forward to playing the TIE SF. Looking at it a little bit more. Should prove to be interesting, but a whole bunch of, Episode 7 ships.
Yeah. If you have some cool TIE SF squadrons that you'd like to see Matt fly, he hasn't completely finalized his squadron yet, so be sure to send that, and we will pick them over and see where we go with that. And I'm going to be flying the Heroes of the Resistance box. I want to fly Rey. I think she's super cool. I want to see how that Rey Finn goes. I know a lot of people are going to want to play Han, but I know personally that if it's going to be the first time I've ever flown Han, I'm going to pull what I did here, and Han's is going to explode. And
Oops.
It's going to be like the quickest match of Wookiees on X-Wing ever. So I'm very looking forward to Rey. And
as always, guys, thanks for watching Wookies on X-Wing. Be sure to like and subscribe. We've got videos out every Wednesday.
We are part of the Northern Gaming Network. Be sure to check it out at northerngamingnetwork.com, where we have additional content for this game as well as others.
And you can leave us comments on the videos here. We love to read them. We love to respond to them. We like getting your guys' feedback. But if you want to get a hold of us directly, John's going to let you know how you can do that.
If you want to be my friend on Twitter and listen to what I have to say about Dungeons & Dragons and killing players, because I take great joy on that, you can do so at Corhath, that's Corhath. You can also find us on our official Twitter at NorthGameNet.
Or you can like us on Facebook to keep up with our most recent news.
And I'll see you next week.
Have a good one, guys.